Hi everybody, this is Krista with Art Graphic Studio. Today I'm going to show you two different styles of pinwheel cards. The first is an 8-panel pinwheel card and the others are 4-panel tower pinwheel cards. The Octagon card is 5x7 and the tower cards are 6 different sizes but assembled in the same way. So let's get started. If you have not already downloaded your SVG file, you can go to my Etsy shop by going to etsy.com and searching for Art Graphic Studio. Then scroll or search for the SVG you're looking for. If you are a Cricut Design Space user, you may be able to access my free designs. For more information, see my note at the end of this video. Sometimes, depending upon your system and/or your software, you may have to resize your uploaded design before you can make it. While I'm demonstrating this in Cricut Design Space, the same principles apply no matter what software you're using. So to get started, you'll need to upload your design files. Now, typically in Cricut, this is going to be an SVG file, but there might be other files, PDFs or PNGs or JPEGs. So let's go to Upload, Upload Image, and Browse. Now we're going to go to where we know our files are, in this case, crafts and envelopes. Now today I'm going to show you on this 4.5 by 9.5 inch envelope. So I'll open that and open the SVG file. Now here's our file. So let's upload that. And here it is. Now let's just click on that. And you see this green border? That indicates that it's selected. So we want to add that to our canvas over on the lower right. Now here we have it. Let's make it a little smaller so we can see the whole thing. Now you can see it's all grouped, but before we ungroup it, we need to do one thing, and that is to resize it, or to see if we need to resize it. In this case, I said I wanted a 4.5 by 9.5 inch card. So I'm going to create a rectangle, unlock the edit, and change that to width of 9.5 and a height of 4.5. Oops, 9.5. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to move this size that I know to be the correct size into place. About there. And as you can see, that's pretty close. So I think I'm just going to use that. And I'm going to get rid of that because I don't need it now. But let's say, for example, our envelope or whatever our project was came in at a different size. So here's the size we wanted. But as we can see, it's way too small. So what we want to do now is to adjust the size of the project. In this case, it's an envelope. So I'm just going to grab the corner and I'm going to expand it until I get it about where I think it ought to be. Now I've gotten it a little too big, so I'm going to reduce that. And there, that's about what we need for it to be. So we don't need our rectangle anymore. And here we are, ready to start designating our score lines. So now we know it's the right size. Let's go ahead and ungroup it. Now we want to change our score lines into score lines because they come in as cut lines. And in order to do that, click on the area that you know to be your score lines. And the way you know these will be score lines is because this box right here turns red. So we want to change basic cut to score. Now you can see that we have our score lines. Now all you have to do is select both your score lines and your design and attach them. Now you're ready to make it. And when it comes up, you can see that your score lines and your design is all on your cutting board and ready to cut. These are the components to the Octagon pinwheel card. And I've got the base component, a panel with a liner that you can decorate. And then once you put it together, you'll have a more narrow side, and I've provided you with panels for that as well. Now the SVG file only has one of each of these. So once you download it, you will need to make an additional 7 of each of these if you're going to use them all. You can use the panels or not use them, that's just up to you. These are just for decor. So here is how you put this together. I have cut out my 8 bases, and they all have score lines. So I'm just going to fold the score lines a little bit, give them a head start. The way you assemble this is to turn your first base with the narrow strip on the left. And then you will line up your next one right next to that and glue it down. Then you'll line up your next one right next to that and glue it down, and so on until you get them all lined up. All right. Now we will line up the next one. And once you get all of these lined up and glued down, we're going to let them dry because there is a little bit of stress on them when you open and close this. So we're going to let that dry and we'll be right back. Now that we've got them all glued together, you can see how it works with the panels if you want to use the panels. All right, so here's our glued together piece. So what we'll do now to make our octagon is to take these 3 pieces on the left, and then we will run a bead of glue here, and we will fold this over. And we'll let that dry. All right, here we go. So now we have the octagonal card. And you can decorate each of the panels however you'd like to. I have one that I've done that I've decorated with photographs and sentiments. That's just an example. See you next time. Here we have the Pinwheel Tower cards, and there are 6 sizes in this part of the bundle. The large one is 8.5 by 6 1/4. Here we have the 5 by 7. We have the slim line, which is 4 by 9. We have the A2, which is 4 1/4 by 5.5. We have the A6, which is 4 by 6. And we have the mini note card, which is 3.5 by 5. This is a 5 by 7 tower pinwheel card that I have made into a congratulations for a new baby girl. This is the tower, and it is scored, has 4 score lines. And the first thing you want to do is to glue this to this. We're going to let that dry for a few minutes. And then we have 4 panels that will go on that. And I have layered each of these 4 panels. This is a card that can be slipped in to the panel You might want to put a photograph of the new baby or whatever you'd like to do. So I'm going to just lay these on top of these. And I'll be right back. I'm going to glue these panels, and I'm only going to put glue on the 3 sides. And on these 2, I'm going to put glue all across the back. Now I'm going to put these using dimensionals right here on this one. But I'll do that last. Now let's see, we'll put the cover, which I'm going to use this as the cover. Actually, I think I'm going to use this as the cover. And glue that right there. And I'm going to let that dry for a few minutes. And I'll put the card. You can put any sentiment that you'd like to, or a photo, or whatever you'd like to put in there. You can even put a gift card if you'd like. All right, we'll let that dry and we'll be right back. And here you can see I've put the dimensionals on the back. If you'd like to put a gift card or whatever you would like to put in here, you can certainly do that. And here is our cover. If you'd like to add something here, you certainly can. This is the 5x7. When it's folded flat to mail. Here's the finished product. See you next time. Thanks for watching, and if you find this video useful, don't forget to click the like, subscribe, and notification bell to stay informed about more exciting projects. I appreciate you watching my video, and I will see you next time. If you're a Cricut Design Space user, you can access some of my shared projects by opening Cricut Design Space. And on the home screen, in the search bar, type Art Graphics Studio and press Enter. Then scroll down to Community Members and click on Art Graphics Studio. There you'll find all of my shared projects.